It's all a matter of trying and trying, and eventually you land with something that really works. Especially with hindsight of like a previous game to focus on. Oop.
You got the Legacy of Thieves edition, right?
Yes.
And it's $10.
$10. Damn, that's a really good price for that.
I know. It was originally $49.99.
Ooh, bitch. Yeah, that's very good. No, for real, please. Yeah, exactly. Like, if he had just whispered me and said, I don't like that nickname, please stop, I would have been like, oh, sure, dude, no problem. But, yeah, then his YouTube content basically went down the route of Naughty Dog is woke garbage, and The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be nothing but uh, a thing for the liberal agenda where every video game nowadays has to have a strong female character at its core and reducing its male characters to nothing. And I was just like, okay, like, you were cool when you were making videos about, Uncharted and stuff like that, but now that your entire thing is, I don't mind the gays, but I don't want them in my video games. Or, for instance, after Uncharted: The Lost Legacy came out, he was like, part of me almost thought that Chloe and Nadine were going to be made into a couple. And he was like, and then look at this piece of artwork these people did where they drew Chloe and Nadine in wedding dresses, and it was retweeted by Neil Druckmann and the people of Naughty Dog. So this supports their like pro women like gay agenda or whatever. And a lot of people in the comments made a point of saying, have you never heard of shipping? Have you never heard of an actual thing where people actively take characters and ship them together? It's literally all in good fun. It's not supposed to inherently be serious. Like,
Hmm.
but yeah. And then, guess what his content's now turned into? Anime reactions! Yeah!
Oh, like what's her face?
Yes, I
I
was
forgot
just
her
about
name.
to. Oh, by the way, if you don't shoot these guys, watch what happens to Elena. Off she goes.
Resident Evil 5 is $4.
Oh, that's a good price. I'd totally play that with you.
And Resident Evil 3 is $10. Huh.
What if they never really. Well, that's the thing. Like, you can educate yourself. Like, before you go off on a mad tirade about something, like jumpy to conclusions, maybe ask your community, like, is there something to do with fandoms or whatever where people would do something like this? Boom, you can get your answer. Also, hi, Kodax. The grenade guy's immune, yes. You will always end up getting, like, hit with the grenade. Also, this dude, the guy who plays Eddie Raja in this game, uh, is the cabbage merchant from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Hojo in Final Fantasy VII Remake. What I'm saying, Hund, that you clearly just ignored, is that if you are uncertain about something, like, instead of jumping to conclusions and claiming that, oh, people must be, pro this or anti that because of something, why don't you do a little bit of research and just be like, okay, is there a thing where people legitimately do this in fandoms where they, like, ship people together? Like, again, all it takes is a little bit of research. Otherwise, you open yourself up for making a video where you actively are going to look incredibly ignorant to the people who know about this stuff. It really doesn't take that much. Like, if I'm uncertain about something, I will research it. Like, if someone comes into my stream and says, I heard a rumor that this is happening, I will immediately look it up. And I will look at multiple resources, I will look at multiple points of view to make sure that it's not just something where it's like, oh wow, a rumor. I will totally believe that immediately without any kind of research whatsoever. Which is what the majority of people do. It ruined the final season. Yeah, a lot of people shipped Shiro and Keith together, I'm pretty sure. And they really wanted those two characters to be together. And then in the final season of Voltron, they reveal that Shiro is a canon gay character. However, the writers admitted the only reason they did this was to generate people wanting to watch the show, like to its conclusion, because the writing, from what I saw, really fell off in the final like couple of seasons, which is a shame because I watched like the first full season of Voltron and I was like, this is really cool. Like I really don't mind this. This is actually a good show. But yeah, it's kind of
Hey,
akin
Elf
to what...
Guy,
Yes, Zachary.
we should play Truck Driver Simulator.
What? What?
I'm looking at the weird driving simulators, and Truck Driving Simulator was one of them.
Being gay makes you gay? That is a rumor, yes. Also, Zeph, hello darling. Zeph hears a rumor that Riot is a bottom.
Given the news I got recently, maybe.
Oh? And if you can't find anything? Well, if you can't find anything, then quite frankly, you're not looking hard enough. Because there is almost certainly an answer to practically any question a person could possibly have. Let's use a very stupid thing as an example. Did Crash Bandicoot ever have a girlfriend in the Crash Bandicoot franchise? If you Google this, the answer is yes, he did. But she was deemed too provocative with her character model to be included in any of the future Crash Bandicoot stuff. Until they made Crash Bandicoot 4, where you can actually play as her, which is really cool. And she low-key reveals that in her universe, Crash and Coco are both dead. She gets a grappling hook and everything, which is awesome. Oh, this is funny. If you don't shoot this truck coming at you, this happens. Well, shoot those guys first. And there it goes. It just goes right over the edge. If we get farming sim, I will join. Woo. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Exactly. Yeah. Hell, it's like that streamer story I tell so much because I find it so amusing. That one person being like, see, this is why Final Fantasy is going downhill, because Tetsuya Nomura has directed so many games in such a bad way that it's ruining the franchise. And I was like, I'm curious, how many Final Fantasies has Tetsuya Nomura directed? And the answer was very few of them. And so I was able to say to them, these games you're referencing were not directed by Tetsuya Nomura. And their answer to that information was, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want, I'm gonna delete my Discord because, you know, you've made me realize I was wrong about something. Also, I'm streaming while I have a stomach ulcer because that's smart to do. Oh my god. To this day, that will never not be funny.
Oh.
Ooh. I just want to be angry about something false. Yes. Like, there's a term for it, where a person has, like, their mind set on something to the point where they cannot be persuaded otherwise. Like, they will just keep that line of thinking with no chance of their mind being changed. And it's just...
I can't say that word on stream. I'll message to you in Discord. Or Discord.
I was gonna say, like, I think it starts with C and ends with hunt.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes, exactly. You're not wrong, Zach. You're really not wrong. That's the sad part.
It's like, and then you start arguing with them, trying to point it out, and they buckle down on it, and it makes you want to beat them over the head with an iron.
That's the part that gets me, is that, like, with this streamer, I wasn't even arguing about it. Me and another friend of mine, Tenki, we were both simply stating, you're wrong about the games that Tetsuya Nomura directed. That's all we said. Like, and all we were saying was, these are the games he directed. These games you're claiming he directed, he did not. It was literally as simple as that. Like, you are wrong about this information. That is all. But the second it came about, their entire mood went to, I don't care, I don't care, we're not talking about this anymore. And it's like, oh my god.
Aww. You ruined her fragile masculinity. Shame.
The funny part is, I'm pretty sure they are a transgender streamer in their 50s. So, the fact
that one.
Yes.
Oh, so they're entitled.
So the fact that that is their mentality about things is really, like, concerning. And proves to me that respect your elders does not work. Not in my book. If you
can
are...
respect your elders while shoving them down the stairs.
Exactly. Like, I've met some older people who are absolutely wonderful, but I've also met some older people who are unbelievably, like, bigoted and short-sighted about everything. And, like, I've met straight people who are bigoted, I've met gay people who are bigoted. You literally will find it anywhere. Just because you like sucking dick, sweetie, doesn't mean you're immune to the bigoted wiles and whims.
Speaking of old people, that piece of shit Born called me grandpa.
That's funny. I think that word is wow, Morgan.
He keeps his shit up, he's gonna put the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
I agree with that, Morrigan, 100%. It reminds me of this one YouTuber who explained how his rating system works for movies and whatnot. And he was describing, like, you know, out of 10. And he said, for me, anything I watch, read, play, anything starts at a 5. And he said, so depending on the quality of that product, it can only get better or worse. So if he gives something a 6, for instance, he considers it just above average. Like, nothing too special, but, you know, it's fine. 7, alright, we're getting there. This is actually pretty alright, but it's got its shortcomings. 8, really good, but it does have a few things holding it back. 9, this is absolutely outstanding, but there are a few issues. And 10, this is an absolute masterpiece. Like, it's excellent. And I honestly like that approach.
Yeah.
Similarly to what you described there, Morrigan, with people. Like, treat everyone with the same level of respect, kindness, and courtesy, but allow them to showcase how their entire focus works as a person. Because it can only, much like this guy described with movies and whatnot, it can only go up or down. I love when we have deep conversations while traveling through a sunken city.
I'm going back to my planet meth.
That just sounds like it'd be a Rick and Morty punchline.
Oh, it's up there with Up and Minor. That was a great one too.
Wait, what?
So I found a planet called Up and Minor.
Oh my god.
And then it made me so uncomfortable I changed its name to Up and Major.
Oh, that's funny. Whee! I'm around the wrong way. Oh yeah, this game on crashing is very difficult. What's with the rocket shotguns? It's not a rocket shotgun, it's a grenade launcher.
So a rocket shotgun.
I'm gonna turn you into a rocket shotgun.
I already am.
You'll be that picture of the fire hydrant that Zach sent me that one time.
What picture?
You know, the one of the frozen fire hydrant as it's leaking out and something to do with 14 werewolves.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
For a second there, I was like, was that you who sent it to me, or was that someone else? I can't remember.
I've sent you a couple things like that. I think one of them was a champagne bottle blowing in someone's face. I think it said, this could be us, but you're refusing to turn into a werewolf. Well, I think I sent you the werewolf chicken, or the 14 werewolves chicken. Because it'll literally blow your ass out. I don't know how I'm going to top myself again next year for Halloween by not too many fleshlights getting stuck in skeletons. I can tell you that.
There you are. Oi!
Oh, never mind.
That laugh means death.
Not for you, only for Gek.
Oh, that makes it even better. Isn't he a treasure?
I can't believe I found another one. Oh, hold on.
Oh dear. Let me see. Oh God! What is that? Oh! Oh! I hate it.
Oh, your reaction's all I needed. Gek.
He's gonna disown you.
Yeah.
Could have someone else top him, like a cursed treasure, maybe? Pirates of the Caribbean. We have fun here.
What, committing borderline crimes?
Yes, actually. Who wants to be normal and not commit crime?
I mean, generally I don't admit to the crimes I do. Well, no, I have. Never mind.
Yes, yes, let me dry those tears. Your anguish sustains me. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. Yep. First accidental death in the game. I'm not surprised it's here. Be the crime, do all the gays. Yes, I second this.
Like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me as a child. Like, as an adult now, I no, I'm not supposed to do the things I did. But breaking into people's houses and staying there after I skipped school should have been at the top of my list of things to never do.
I can do that too. Not stay in people's houses after school.
Like I used to, my friend's parents used to they had a really nasty habit of leaving their windows open or unlocked, so I would just crawl through them, and then they started locking their windows, so I had to find other places to go. And a lot of my neighbors were elderly, and they couldn't hear me in their houses.
I just realized who you are. You're the janitor from Scrubs. Like,
I don't know who that is.
There is a line in the show where they're trying to figure out some kind of thing happening with this guy, and he says, "Do you think I get thanked for doing any work around here? Janitor, the toilets are filthy. Well, no one was thanking me, so I stopped cleaning them."
They should have thanked him.
Yeah, that is the energy that you are giving off right now, and I love it.
Like, I remember I used to skip school so often that if I missed any more school, I'd have to get a doctor's excuse.
Naturally. Ooh, I'll take that. You wouldn't download a crime. No, of course not. Totally have.
We technically used to.
Nathan just did another Easter egg there. Oh.
Unless y'all are too young to remember the LimeWire.
Is that word allowed? I mean, the word ugly isn't inherently, like, it's a word. It has its place. It just depends how you use it, really. Like, I could say to someone, "You have a really ugly personality." What do you mean? Well, you're really nice to look at, but your personality is like a cactus dude.
You're rotted.
You're like putting a cactus up there. I'm still getting stimulation, but it's not the kind I want. That's who I wanted gone. You are trash.
What?
When he says whoa, it's a coin to crash. I mean, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Like, Nathan Drake says whoa, whoa, whoa a lot in these games. And I never really saw it as a reference to Crash. I just saw it as a thing you might say when under duress in a situation like this.
Usually when I'm in duress, it involves a lot more swearing.
I mean, he does that too, but like saying whoa is a Crash Bandicoot reference? Nah, that's reaching a little bit.
Oh, this planet's slightly terrifying.
Oh. Oh, hello.
It's got these floating mushrooms with lights coming out of the top of it.
Oh. So you're on Pandora.
It says it's a breached planet. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh, so it's you.
Or
You're
Subnautica.
breached.
What was that, right?
Or Subnautica.
True. Good point.
Look, that game gave me nightmares.
You are not that pleasant to talk to. I would enjoy myself much more if you just stayed silent while I at least enjoy things that are good about you. Touche, Kiwi, touche. Welcome in, my darling. I have to run for a moment. If I'm not back before the... I hope it goes wonderfully. No worries, Morrigan. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening, my dear. Thank you for being here. You're always welcome.
No.
Yes. Looks down. Why are my undies wet? Wait, did us
Kinky.
talking about an ugly personality get you off?
Maybe.
Like, I thought me liking men crying was weird.
Also, I've never heard that line from Nate. I just punched a dude and he said, "You want to play rough? We'll play rough!" That was way too perfectly timed. I think they're listening.
No. No.
Except for the homies? That's so funny. I'm only gay for the homies, like, dude. Oh, Zach, there is a picture I need to send to you. You are going to love it. I sent it to Gary, and he found it funny. So... Here it is. So it's a couple of pictures. It's from a comic you may have heard of about a tiger and a wolf guy dating each other. And what's happened here is he's just made like dinner plans with his boyfriend, and the two straight friends of his are doing this in the locker room, and I just thought this was really funny. "3 a.m. I need to sleep. No worries, Plague. You get some good shut-eye, my dear. Always a pleasure having you." Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I've sword fought before.
Oh, I know you have.
I also stabbed one of my boyfriends before. Keep playing with me, Elvish.
What?
What?
You you did what? Oh, here's a funny thing. So you have to shoot the lock off the door to get Elena inside the building. This is what happens if you try to go on without her. She just gets killed. Which I think is very funny.
Kill the spare.
You know, I watched an interview recently with Robert Pattinson, who said during that scene in The Goblet of Fire, he thought it was so stupid holding a wand like a weapon that he deliberately held it with two hands and pretended he was holding a gun.
Oh.
I love Robert Pattinson. He's such a dick about everything, but in the best way.
Well, if you had a star in Twilight too, you'd be a dick about everything.
Oh, that's fair, Kiwi. Ffxiv, my
No one
tea is
hates-
ready. Ooh, hell yeah.
No one hates Twilight as much as the cast.
Well, I even watched an interview with Kristen Stewart as well, because I was watching a lot of these ones of them pretty much reacting to some of their performances, and when it got to Twilight, she was like, you know, the worst part about being in these movies, for a lot of it, was the fact that she said, I felt like I was stagnating as an actor. She was like, you know, I get the idea of being familiar enough with a character that you can actively, you know, you can find enjoyment in that familiarity, but she said it really got to me after a while, the fact that there was just so little variety in what I could do as this character. And yeah, that was one of her main takeaways of being in Twilight, was she just really wanted to do more. Like, more things that were out there, more things that were unique and interesting, and naturally she didn't get the chance to until afterwards. It's no wonder that her and Robert Pattinson pretty much tackled like very independent projects past that point for a lot of their career.
Well, that's why Stephanie Myers made her so bland to begin with, so teenage girls could place themselves in Bella's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've even mentioned that before. Like, tell me a character trait of Bella Swan. You can't, because she's literally every teenage girl in existence. And that's all she needed to be. Because any teenage girl can jump on that kind of character and immediately be like, this is me! And it's like, well, no shit, Sherlock, of course it is. It was marketed to be you.
My favorite insult is Louise from Bob's Burger.
Damn
Bella's so boring. If she was a spice, she'd be flour, boring and bland.
it. I've heard that before. My mind does not pursue it. I'm right there with you, Kiwi, funnily enough. Like, literally identically. Like, my general drive when it comes to things is pretty high, but when it comes to the idea of actually doing something, like, I was even thinking about it the other day, and I was like, yeah, there's not really a whole lot there that I actively enjoy overall.
So, I just screenshotted Geck's response to that and sent it to you.
Oh, no.
I feel violated, and I'm the one that sent that awful picture.
Alright, let's have a look. No. The Elden Ring Claude. Oh, God! Oh, he gives as good as he gets. I love that.
How does Gek do that? Like,
I mean,
like I'm awful, and he manages to outclass me on that front. Is it because he's British and their monarchy is full of incest? Is that what it is? Like,
I mean,
they're
to be
used to awful things?
to be fair, I feel like I've done the exact same thing to you on multiple accounts, where you'll try and do something that is playful to get to me, but then I'm able to instantly be like, oh, I can just, like, do this, and you have no power anymore.
I always have power, Elvish.
You only think you have the power. The power of the babe. Yeah, same, Kiwi, same. Like, the amount of times where I'll be doing something, and in the background, I'll just be thinking to myself, what am I gonna have for dinner later? And then I'll be like, okay, I need to go uptown, and I need to get this, and I need to get that, and I also need to do this. I also need to think about the game I'm gonna stream tonight. That's exactly where my brain goes. Like, it is never in a place where it's actively, like, in the moment, so to speak. So, yeah, Elena's gonna stay here and get some B-roll of the coastline, while we go out and do the real work. Gender roles. Also, this part here makes it seem like you have to click X a bunch of times. All you have to do is click it once. Another example of a weirdly placed QuickTime event. Oh, yep. I forgot about the guy with the grenade launcher. How does one get rid of the dysfunction of the brain? Dude.
Good luck.
You mean the rocket shotgun?
Quiet, you. Get back to your Final Fantasy. But that question, how does one get rid of dysfunction of the brain? People are still trying to figure that out. If Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, and countless other people couldn't figure it out, there's no chance we're going to in this lifetime. Especially because there are still people out there who fully believe mental illness and mental health doesn't exist. There are people who don't believe in depression. Oh, I've never had depression, therefore no one else will have had it. Like,
Your life is great. What do you have to be depressed about? Why are you sleeping all day? Why are you tired all the time? You don't work. It's like,
yep,
because I have to deal with people like you and it drains my soul.
exactly. I want to put you 6 feet under, and I need to talk to a therapist about that, because apparently this isn't appropriate workplace conversation, Janice. Anyway. Thoughts of murder aside, how are we all doing today? This. Let's do it.
You're welcome.
Oh no. Oh, he just flopped. And that's how you know the segment has ended. No, I'll take that. If your brain finished growing without developing something, you just learn to live with it. To a degree, you are correct, because there are some people who legitimately just, you know, they aren't in a place where they can actually grow as people. My brother, for instance, being focused on something like World of Warcraft for such a long time that it literally became the only fundamental principle of his personality. It stunted his growth to the point where he actively couldn't do a lot of anything else and put himself in a perpetual spiral of depression and anxiety because you can get addicted to a certain kind of sadness. But you didn't have to cut me off. Make
Or
it
you can
like it
get
never
addicted to dick.
happened. That is true. But that's a different kind of thing. That's nymphomania.
What's the opposite of that, where all you need is his torso, and you don't need him breathing?
It's called a kink.
Psychopathy. But also hot.
My ex messaged me the other day. He's like, I watched Spirited Away and I thought about you and I hope you're doing well. And it's like, I thought you died. Leave me alone.
I was watching Spirited Away and it reminded me of you. Which part? Yubaba stealing children?
Spirited Away is my favorite movie.
It's a great film.
And it's like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. You tried manipulating me and I caught on to you. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
So why can they still message you? Do you like to make them squirm?
No, he creates new numbers and texts me from them.
Ugh, one of them. Oh, it does is a bit of a mystery, but those things that grow in improper directions stay as they are. 99% of the time, with only experience being able to mitigate some behavioral issues, you can work on your personality, on what and how you do it, but you can't control things like what exactly makes you aroused. That's the base of a mental illness known as paraphilia. Interesting. Huh. Well, there you go. Very fascinating.
Like, it's almost like he forgot how crazy I was. Like, I won't fly to San Antonio and set his house on fire. With him and his bitch mother in it.
All good, Kiwi. No worries, my darling. It's more a case, Hund, of psychological ramifications leading to long-lasting problems in regards to certain areas. For instance, I have been so repressed on a sexual level for such a long time that I can't ever imagine myself in a scenario where I could actually have sex with someone and have it be comfortable. As a result, I am in a perpetual state of existential torment in regards to that because it is a fundamental aspect of life that I am likely never going to healthily experience. So, yeah, it's things like that, where if you actively, similarly to emotional growth, if you were not treated well emotionally as a child, like into adulthood, you are probably going to have a horrific time in regard to your emotions, and you are probably going to develop emotional issues such as bipolar disorder or any number of things, really. Because it all stems back to a lot of those things. Now, I'm not a person who believes in Sigmund Freud's idea that everything comes back to sex. I don't believe that at all. I think that's a cop-out. And I don't think everything comes down to, you want to have sex with your mother. Like, that. Some people, yes. Other people, no.
I'm not that particular brand of Southern, so
No, exactly. That's fair, Rain. Also, welcome in, darling. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's probably because the high is lowering your general inhibitions, which is another reason why people enjoy like substances or whatever, because a lot of things like drugs or alcohol can potentially remove those blocks on your psyche that have been put there for a long period of time. And then people end up getting addicted to said substances because, you know, those substances are made to be addictive. Even something like caffeine, which I have no issues with. I have no idea why, but I have never had any issues with caffeine. I can literally stop drinking or having anything with caffeine in it, and I have no negative effects, and I'm very, very happy about this. Now, mental psyche locks. Exactly, yeah. So you're saying if it's broken to... As usual, missing the point. Why does this happen all the time? There's always one person who misses the damn point. I'm over it. I'm over it! Let's just shoot things with an infinite pistol. This'll make me feel better.
because we like causing you emotional
I
distress.
thought you were gonna say let's just shoot people.
Well, yes, that's what I'm doing. Am I saying if I had the chance I would shoot people? Legally, I have to say no. No, I've had fantasies about the idea of putting all the world's elite into a room and shooting them in the head one by one while streaming it to Twitch. That's a fun fantasy.
There's a movie with one of the actors from the original Airbender movie that was so awful. And she gets locked in a room with a cut of meat that she can't eat because it reminds her of her stepdad who used to abuse her.
Yikes.
And at the end, it's like rotting, and she finally eats it. So he drags her friend's dead body in and says, "Let's see how long it takes you to get through that."
Jesus.
Yeah, we should lock all the rich in one room and see how long it takes before they start eating each other.
I mean, you know one thing that I totally was on board with when I was reading this book series? When I was reading The Hunger Games, and the new president said, what we're going to do is we're going to have one final Hunger Games where all the richest people in the capital, we're going to put their children into the Hunger Games and see how they like watching their children suffer.
Why
I
don't
was
you
like,
throw the spectators in too?
yes. But I was like, you know what? I like this. I know this is supposed to be a showcasing that she's just as bad as like the former president or whatever, but I approve of this. Yes, sacrifice the children of the rich who are forcing all this to happen. Do it.
I would sacrifice the rich because then you're not punishing someone innocent.
Anyway, I think it was clear I was saying that for the lols. No. If you think it's clear, it's not. Some people, like, just don't get that level of things. And there are cases where I will actively just not understand that a person is joking when they say something. Unless they make it abundantly clear. Persona 3 taught me fun things. Oh my god, Ray!
What did Rain say?
Persona 3 taught me fun things happen when you shoot yourself. Oh!
Rain, I love you.
Or other emotes? Yeah, emotes don't mean anything to me. Like, I've literally seen people say things completely seriously. Good example, one of the people in here actively talk about depressing things while using my happy face emote. So, that immediately tells me, like, oh, so you're saying something depressing, but you're using a happy emote. Do you understand how confusing that is?
Where's my pet?
Not to be confused with the horny games. Also, I want you to know, just as you said, where's my pet, we ran across a pirate who's been impaled.
Oh, you found him.
But I'm actively giving you this information. Why do you refuse to use this for communication? Because I am a socially inept individual who finds it very difficult to figure out what emotion a person is using when they're just using words on a screen and emotes. So sometimes I need a little bit of extra something.
Drugs.
I don't need drugs today. Right now. Ooh, there's a lovely glow outside.
Let's get you some Seroquel, Elvish. I think you would really like that.
That just reminded me of a scene from Scrubs again, where one of the lead doctors, Dr. Cox, it's in the first episode, and the main character, JD, says, I wasn't sure how much Tylenol to give my patient. He's like, it's regular strength Tylenol. Here's what you do. You take a handful of Tylenol and throw it at her. Whatever sticks, that's the correct dosage. I think you would very much enjoy Scrubs. It's very fun.
I remember I went to a party once and my friend was like, here, try this. And I was like, what is it? He was like, it's Adderall. You'll like it. And I took it, and I felt so focused. And I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I've never felt like this before. And everyone else is like off their fucking rockers or something. And I felt like I could do midterm papers with no problem. And it's because I had ADHD.
Yeah. Welcome to Asperger's, where interpretation is fun when there's zero tonal context. Honestly, I feel like I am somewhat on the spectrum for that, because there are a lot of things that I can very clearly infer from a person, but there are other things where I'm like, I don't have the context necessary to be able to, actively talk about this. Aha! Yuri? Oh, Hund. Oh, Hund, my dear. Hey, Maddie. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's in trouble tonight.
Oh.
I was like, you're being so good. You're not doing anything bad. You're not getting into anything. You're being so quiet. And that should have tipped me off that he was being so goddamn quiet. Because, he chewed my charging cable for my phone apart.
Oh, no.
He chewed it apart while it was still connected to an outlet. So I don't know how he's not electrocuted or dead. Or if he's
Yikes.
using his hell powers. He's hell spawn in a fur coat.
I'm doing very well today, thank you, Maddie. How about yourself, my dear? A tangle of actions here that by connection is in itself funny. I'm sure it is to you, but I think it's pretty clear after like you being here for a decent chunk of time that your brain works a little bit differently to some of the other people in here. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm simply saying that we all see things differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes there is going to be a clash that can sometimes occur based on the differences of said brains.
Girls, you're both pretty.
Hang on, can I just drop down here? I think I can. Yes, good. Yeah. I see Elvish as a homoerotic deity of... What?
Wow, they got you pegged.
Take your time, why don't you, Elena? You're gonna... Wow! And I know for a fact Elvish hates the way I type. I do? Where did that come from? Oh, is the... No? Where's the second dude? There's another guy. There you are. I knew you were behind something. Uh-huh.
Eh, shit.
Yes.
Nah, I built my base. Part of my base is sitting under the landing pad, and you can't put things inside of it with the ship on top of it. I don't know why.
Oh, you little... Ooh. I see you. Ooh.
Also, I think my pet drowned.
Correct power, yeah. Yeah, Nolan North plays Nathan Drake. It's the role that kind of put him on the map for a lot of people. And he played him in all... Oh my god, Zach.
Oh, you finally got around to reading it.
Yes. Oh no. Oh my god, will you just die? Ow!
Kind of like me when I worked at the nursing home.
Oh my god, you would love Scrubs. I'm telling you this right now. There is so much in that show that would speak to you. There's a point where the main character's brother comes along, and he hears him talking about a goma. And he's like, what's a goma? Oh, it's just an old man who's been here time and time again leeching resources who doesn't have the common courtesy to die.
Oh. I remember I told my family I was working at a nursing home, and they're like, "Are they safe?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting paid. Like, it's not like I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart." I remember my one cousin said, "Zach, what heart?"
Were there any deaths under your care?
It's a nursing home, Elvis. They're old. They die at some point.
I wish I might not get it. Me, how dare you not get it? Mod, be nicer, he might not get it. I mean, you didn't say that. You basically just said to me, it's okay to be ignorant then. Like, that's an interesting way of interpreting that information. Yeah, exactly, Rain. Yeah, I saw the same message. It's like a thing my mum and I were talking about a bit ago, where we were talking about how if someone says something and then follows it up with something like, "Oh, but I'm just kidding," what they first said is very clearly how they actually feel about something. Um, like, for instance, if someone was to say to someone, "Oh, I really hate you, you're a horrible person, blah, blah, blah." "Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's like, I don't think you are. I think you're doing that to save face because you realize the severity of what you've just said. Anyway, Sully's alive. There we go. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hund, you clearly don't get like what's going on here, so like it's okay to not get things, but at the same time it's like eh. Well, it's just one of those things, like I said, where some people just don't know how they actually come across with certain things. And you can say over and over and over again, like, this isn't how I meant it, this isn't how I meant it, but it all depends ultimately on how the other person does see it in the moment. Like, I've had moments before where certain people have said certain things, or like this one person in particular, where they uh, they thought what they were saying were coming across in this specific way, and then I said, this is how it came across to me. And this other person kept trying to gaslight me by constantly saying, that's not what I meant, that's not what I meant, that's actually not what I meant, you're putting words in my mouth, you're doing this, that, or the other. I'm like, oh my god, just drop it! Um, Rain, maybe ease up a little? That's not really what's happening here. Like, I wasn't stating from a point of view of, being like, just stop. I legitimately want to try and help people to understand a point of view that they may not. And as such, if that understanding can't be made, then it's like, okay, then we can just, not talk about the situation. That's fine. But, like, it's not necessarily a case of drop it because I don't really like that idea, because that just sets up a thing of, okay, not talking about this anymore. Like, I don't know, that doesn't feel right to me. Because, yeah, what you did say just there, Rain, did come across as a little bit of a power trip. But, you're fine. I found a skull. It's Timmy. I was just going to shoot to maim. Where's the other guy? There you are. Doesn't even have an ice. What a worthless skull. Talking about butts. Butts are always worthy of conversation. Some of the enemies in the game do have pretty fun idle animations, though. Oh, you little... Oh, I love defiling an old church. I love seeing people from far away shooting shotguns.
Alright, I have to go to bed.
Oh, no worries, my darling Diesel.
Got to the pardon.
What?
I called you Cardent.
Ah. Well, thank you for all the love and fun, and yes, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, my dear.
You too. Enjoy the rest of your stream.
I shall, thank you. Oop. Big and juicy. Ooh. They are, aren't they? alley. A pancake, a single layered cake, and a double layered cake. I I honestly don't know how to respond to that. Touche. Oh, Rain, Zach left. He's gone to bed. Oh, I had something disgusting today. Um, I had one of those immunity booster drinks that you can get, where it was like apple, ginger, wheatgrass, chlorophyll, and uh, prebiotics. Oh, oh, it tasted awful, and it made my throat burn. I don't even really need things like that because my immune system is really good. People enjoy them have just forgotten what good things taste like. Forget what something tastes like on average. That doesn't surprise me, strangely enough. The more often I have something, the less appealing it is. It depends what it is for me, personally. Um, for instance, I'm much more likely to get sick of something sweet than I am to get sick of something savory. Like, in general, I'm just not that fond of a lot of, like, sweet foods a great deal of the time. Whereas if you give me something like something savory, then that's something that I can very much enjoy. I love jumping on old chandeliers. Oh wow, it's a Skylar.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I am alright.
Oh yeah. You sound perky and nubile.
Perky. Perky.
Perky, yes.
Perky. Sure. There we go. Subtitles on.
Let me know how many I have the tacos never get boring. They would if you had them too much, I reckon. That's why with something like tacos, I have them like every now and again because it's nice having them be a novelty. Yeah, the music one I get 100%. Mm. Hey, Weasel, welcome in, darling. Sweetness tends to be an overbearing taste in general. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agree. So what are you gonna do today, my dear?
I am going to start Arkham Knight.
Oh, very nice.
I've yet to play it, so it's one I've been wanting to play. And I've been watching a lot of superhero shit, and I'm in the mood for another superhero game.
Hell yeah. I found it difficult to stick with Arkham Knight for some reason. Like, Asylum and City worked incredibly well for me, but then Arkham Knight just kind of, it feels like for me it throws too much at you at once. Damn it. Oh, you son of, you lucky mother. Ouch. I found a skull. Ow. Greetings, I am the Egg Woman. Eh. The real treasure. Or counterpoint, uh, what's his face from Gravity Falls, Grunkle Stan. Everything's legal when the cops aren't around. It's a water wheel. Oh, not at all, Hund. No, I'm gonna lie, I did read some fanfics of. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna let. No, that would actually make it worse. Okay, I read fanfics about Grunkle Stan and his brother. I have no shame. Back off to work. Oh, good, my darling. You have a wonderful time at work. That makes it worse. No, the reason why I amended it was because I realized maybe the mind would think about a fanfic to do with like Stan and Mabel and Dipper, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna nip this in the bud before it gets any worse, and I'm just gonna say what it was, which is arguably not as bad. Thank you, Ryan. Oh. Well, uh, get out of my way, Elena. Leaving that aside.
So I know a fun fact about the beginning of uh, Arkham Knight.
Hmm.
If you don't shoot anybody in the beginning, the cop won't be as like torn up about it whenever you see him in the cell later on.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like details like that. That's awesome. Oh, Hund. Kill them both.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
I forgot I was streaming.
Oh my god. What did you go and do?
Horny.
Oh.
Injured in Arkham City? Sue Gotham. Get what's coming to you. Exotic trees and plants for a limited time only.
I think another issue I did have with Arkham Knight as well was the same issue I had with Arkham City to a point, where I really didn't gel that much with the main villain, just being a voice on the radio the whole time. And the fact that they brought in John Noble, aka Denethor from Lord of the Rings, to play Scarecrow is so cool, but he apparently doesn't get anything to do.
Uh, There's a person running in place.
Uh,
I'm just looking around the diner right now. There's a person look like they're calling a cab, but they're running in place. Or you can just leave.
So the
Oh.
concept here, Hund, is that we're dealing with a large mercenary operation, and what we're doing right now is
Just love pathfinding an NPC collision. Yeah. Well, he's gone now. Also, how
what we
was Zeph?
Zeph.